Okay, today this video is about Sun Tzu's Art of War as comparative material to True Master Volume 2, Self to Others. So True Master Volume 1 was more about personal development, what the self is, things like that. Volume 2 is more of what it looks like when you express that will into the world. I use the book by Sun Tzu, The Art of War, because honestly, as you start to get into the material, that's the form that it kind of takes. I didn't write this True Master Volume 2, Self to Others. I didn't write it with the Art of War in mind. That's just sort of what it looks like when you start applying energetic concepts or energetic language in the vein of accomplishing a goal. It sort of starts to look like the Art of War. Just to kind of get into it, Sun Tzu's Art of War, written approximately 400 BC, lists 5 basic factors for a commander to consider. Okay, so this is some of the similarities in the language, and this is why I say what I say. The moral law, that's one of the constant factors that influences warfare. The moral law or discipline that establishes the unity of command. So basically what he's talking about there, he's talking about the reason that you're fighting, what you're fighting for. Okay, in True Master, we've been talking about for the longest, in Self to Self, we've been talking about principles. I think it's even a model of what a relationship, a two-party relationship looks like, and what a multi-party relationship looks like. It should be on Facebook somewhere. But it's a diagram of that, and it's all bound together by a common principle or some common theme or something that they're fighting for. Okay. The second constant that Sun Tzu mentions is heaven. It manifests as weather factors. You see what I'm saying? Then he goes to earth. Earth is the earthly terrain, the distance, and the encumbrances that you encounter going to and fro. You see what I mean? Okay, in True Master language, that's the same stuff we've been talking about as far as the river of changes, the fluctuations of time and space, the different things that happen in our day-to-day world, the patterns, as it's called in the experiential, like I said, the river of changes. Okay, the fourth factor that Sun Tzu mentions is the commander. Now, the commander is supposed to inspire the people. The commander is supposed to be a symbol of virtue. Okay, and notice he said it's talking about a symbol. So in the True Master language of things, this would be what I refer to as a symbolic principle or a deified symbol. In the experiential, it's called just a symbol, but in this, it's a deified symbol. It's a person, place, or thing that takes on a significance that's likened unto some sort of intangible principle. And here we can kind of see the difference. The moral principle would be the actual true principle. It's intangible. It doesn't have length, width, or height, but it's the reason why everybody is out there on the battlefield. Okay, the commander is a physical person or whatever, and he's a representation of some sort of principle. Okay, the next is that Sun Tzu mentions is the method and discipline, which includes logistics and supply in the hierarchy of command. So what he's calling the method and the discipline, as far as this is concerned, in Art of War, in True Master, we're talking about, we just use the energetic language of structure. We call it a structure. A hierarchy is a structure. A method is a structure. So this is kind of what I mean when I say this is a comparative read. Sort of like how the Kabbalion was a comparative read for Self to Self. Sort of like how the Tao Te Ching was a comparative read for Self to Self. The Art of War is more of a comparative read for Self to Others, because you're kind of getting into expressing your will. It's another book by I forget the guy's name. He's a samurai. He wrote the Book of the 5 Rings. It's a similar book to this as well. So it kind of goes into what it looks like to actually express your will on a physical realm. Thanks.